Part 1, Chapter 3 Springtime in Ponyville. I decided to spend my day off engaging in one of my favorite pastimes, teasing Twilight Sparkle. I had been playing with my students for almost as long as I have had them. Nothing malicious or cruel, mind you, just a gentle prank every once in a while. I wondered which of my tricks I should try today. Should I show up at her library unannounced, perhaps? That could be more than enough to send the cute purple unicorn into a state of frenetic panic. I giggled to myself as I drifted through the clear blue sky, imagining her desperately scrambling around her library, trying to tidy up. But what if Twilight wasn't home, out with one or more of her friends? Then maybe I'd spend the day with Spike, getting all the gossip on what she'd been up to, find out things she wasn't putting in her letters. I could wait in the library for her, and then, when she returned, I'd step out suddenly from behind a bookshelf, just to see if she'd jump clean out of her skin. Oh, this was going to be so much fun! Not even last night could put a damper on my spirits. After being forced to play nice at the delegates' dinner for several hours, I finally slipped away in hopes of having a chat with Luna, only to find that she had gone on one of her dream journeys, and her devotees were highly distraught over the absence of their princess. I had to spend damn near an hour reassuring various individuals, from guards to chambermaids, that, no, the princess had not been kidnapped. Yes, this was part of her normal duties as Princess of the Night. Yes, they could expect her to return by morning. No, there was nothing they could do to help. Yes, this was something that would probably happen in the future. And on it went. These things are to be expected, I suppose. They are still becoming accustomed to her, after all. But as I floated on an updraft in the crisp spring air, my troubles seemed so far away. Ditzy had been right. It was simply stunning out here in the country. The fields of green below me rippled like an emerald ocean breeze. Small speckled patches of bright color broke the verdant waves like foam. The flowers had returned in full force after a long and cold winter. And there lay Ponyville, nestled between the rolling hills on the banks of a lazy river, its thatched roofs huddled together around the spire of a town square. And there was my student's library, with its treetops swaying gently like a sail in the wafting spring air. A picturesque vista, to say the least. And pictures need to be appreciated from afar and up close. I decided to walk the remaining distance. I would take the back roads to avoid drawing too much attention. If I was going to ambush Twilight, I certainly couldn't afford to have a large crowd following behind me. Besides, I stood out more in the clear sky than on the ground. Maybe I'd bump into one of Twilight's friends. I'd say hello to them like any other normal pony. Oh, maybe they'd go and tell Twilight I was here, and then I could cast an invisibility spell and hide from her. So many possibilities ran through my head as I gently alighted in a back alley across within line of sight of the Golden Oak Library. Right. Time to put my talents at sneaking into action. Hi! I almost fell face first into the dirt.
Wow, kind of weird how sometimes you meet some pony who you've never met before and think you'll probably never meet again, but then you run into them again right away. I wonder if there's a word for that.
I whirled around just in time to see a grinning face of Ditzy-Do. Hello, Ditzy. She caught me off guard again. How embarrassing. However, a princess must be a master of making even her slip-ups seem intentional. I was somewhat hoping we might bump into one another once more. I took your advice and have taken the day off. I wanted to make sure you weren't injured after the crash. To check up on you, as it were.
So you came to see me?
She asked. Among other things, I replied vaguely.
How come you're hanging around in an alley staring at Twilight's house, then?
I felt my face glow hot. I'm here to play childish pranks on my student, and she caught me red-hoofed. I thought I might drop in on my dear student first, just while I'm in the area. How does she keep doing this to me? I have never stumbled or faltered in front of my subjects, and here I am making clumsy excuses like a school filly. Ditzy scrunched her nose in thought, her tail swishing pensively.
Yeah, Twilight really is busy today. Last I heard, she got called over to help Mayor. There's been some kind of structural problem with the bridge, and they want some pony smart to take a look at it before they'll let any pony across. Twilight'll fix it, I'm sure. She's always the one who helps us out when there's a serious problem in town. I reckon they'll be busy there for a few hours. Tell you what, though, how about you come have lunch with me and Dinky while you wait?
A friendly invitation. I racked my brain to think of the last time I had been able to informally interact with my subjects like this. It had been far too long. Perhaps teasing my student could wait. This was a rare chance. That sounds wonderful. Who is Dinky, if you don't mind me asking? If she doesn't mind. I've ruled this land for more than a millennium and can reduce a mountain to rubble, and I'm checking with her to see if she doesn't mind me asking. Something very strange is going on with me lately, and I'm not sure I like it.
Really? You'll come?
Ditzy laughed and flung her arms around my neck, nuzzling affectionately into my flowing mane. And with that, I'm completely sure I like it.
Oh, that's great! A princess over for lunch! Dinky's gonna be so proud! Oh, Dinky is my daughter. She's the one that made the sandwich you ate.
The sandwich you exchanged for a 200-year-old stained-glass window? I laughed. Ditzy detached herself from me and stood, pouting defiantly.
That was a fair trade. I'd swap 100 dumb old windows for one of Dinky's Sammys.
I felt a warmth wash over me, and it was not simply because the two of us were now walking side by side in the sun. Well, I'll have to thank your daughter personally then, won't I? Lead the way. To be continued.